Once again, welcome. It's an absolutely privilege to welcome you to the 7th Annual Global Supply Chain Summit. On behalf of all my colleagues at the business school, specifically within the data science and operations, my team who actually worked tremendously hard to put this together, 7th year in a row. It takes an incredible amount of efforts and energy. So before I get started with many of the things I want to talk about over the next 10, 15 minutes, I want to recognize my team quickly. Dennis, Marvi, Ruth, and my amazing student workers. They are actually working for the last 2.5 months to get you the experience that you'll have over the next 2 days. So we started this journey about 7.5 years ago with the one clear mission statement. Our goal was to connecting the world to the global supply chain excellence through network, education, and applied research. Network, because we understood the value of understanding the connectivity among all of us, not within the country that you're from, but across the continent, across the borders, across the various cultures. What better ways to have that opportunity afforded through the USC Marshall Business School at the center. So we're proud to actually take that network, part of our concept, and truly put together this global conference that we do on an annual basis. Education. Of course, we're in the business school. Our mission is to teach the future leaders. And we're very proud, and I'm going to talk about a couple of statistics there. And the research, working with the industry, taking the practical problems, working with the students to help solve those problems. And we have done some incredible things. I'm proud to announce a few things along the way. In terms of the educations, we are relatively the youngest program in a top business school. We got into supply chain less than 8 years ago. And I'm proud to announce to you that both in US News and World Report, as well as best colleges, our executive program is ranked #1 and #2, respectively. So a round of applause to all my students here, as well as my faculty and my staff. Well done in a short time. You know, it's incredible, the faculties, their passion to teach the students in a 16 months journey, bringing the global theoretical and practical experiences into the classroom, but also what we do outside the classroom to help us truly continue to march forward on this. I also want to welcome my 7th cohort, strongest and the biggest out of all the cohorts. So 94 students strong. Many of you guys are here, so a round of applause for you guys to be in this program. Our current cohort, cohort 6, I'm proud to announce that we have 100% placement, 4th year in a row, for every student in the program having an internship, and 60% of those that have currently the internship have received the full-time offer from their current employer. And that is a phenomenal statistics for the program to be proud of. What I'm really proud of, this is the 4th year that we have crossed the threshold of 50% of our student body of women. A field that is predominantly male-dominated. We are so proud that we have suddenly created an environment where we feel this diversity, truly, where the gap is in corporate America, and that, for that matter across the world, that future leaders coming out of our programs represented by women. So I'm really proud of 53% of our candidates coming into C7 being women. And they represent 13 different countries. So an amazing diversity that we're proud of it. But let's talk about just a few minutes on how we see Outlook 2025. What we see on the horizon from the center side is government and politics will continue to dominate over the next 7-8 years. That will introduce the variability that we have not seen, and we continue to feel economic volatility, We see the trends moving into the globalization on one end, into the regionalization, and that tug of war will continue to go on. On the same token, on the other side of the spectrum, the customer demand is becoming very dynamic. So if you think you figure out what your customer base is, it's changing. It's changing rapidly. And because of this pressure of economic volatility and the government and politics and the trade, we see the tremendous variability within the supplier base. And that's going to continue to create these commodity cycles of switching resources from one country, one region to the different regions. So if you think as a supply chain expert that you have figured out the network design for your company, the good news is that that's just a part of the story. You'll have to constantly redesign and work. And what that gets led to is this whole Industry 4.0. This is underpinned by some of the strongest current we've ever seen. AI, ML, RPAs, blockchain, automations, IoTs. I mean, these buzzwords that we think 5-10 years ago, these were the buzzwords. This is underpinning the future of what we call the supply chain 4.0. So Industry 4.0 is translating into the supply chain, the very world that we should be very excited about, because in the next decade or two, this is where the best of the best innovations will come through. So we're looking at end-to-end digitization engineering, meaning every aspect of supply chain will be digitized. Integration of IoT, from manufacturing of the smart factories, to the IoT in the service industries, to the being able to track from farm to the table, from the design to delivery. Integrations of these IoT integrations and devices will constantly push us in the frontier. So think about in 2008. We had less than 1 billion interconnected devices, and it was forecasted that we will reach in 2020 26 billion installed units. We crossed that number 3 years prior. So 2017, we crossed the 26 billion threshold. It's now estimated to about 50 billion by 2020. So imagine the amount of data that collects. Imagine data repository, data mining capabilities, the predictive and prescriptive data analytics capability. It just goes on and on and on. And supply chain is in the thick of it. Our industry is in the thick of it. So we talked about the theme of this conference is evolution, revolution, and disruption. This is in front of us. We are in it. We see it. But not many industries or individuals have actually scaled up to this. And that's a sort of a scary thought. So if you think about questions coming in, and one of the forecasts that we're looking at it very closely, that there's roughly about 30 to 35% S&P 500 companies will disappear by 2025 or at the latest 2027. So what that tells you, that status quo and sitting and waiting will no longer allow that. In a classroom, we're changing our curriculum. We adopted emerging technologies in supply chains. We adopted supply chain finance, data analytics in supply chain. We have a program within the same department called Master of Science in Business Analytics. So we're preparing the future leaders with the skill set necessary, but industry, we do not see the sense of urgency at the rate the disruption is being introduced. So some of the key questions that one can look at. Is your company truly understands the emerging technology and its implications? What steps can you take to assess this risk? How do you plan to integrate these challenges into existing legacy systems? The big thing is that if you're legacy, if you've been in business for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, the good thing is that you have a lot of experience, a lot of history. Bad news is you're stuck with the legacy system. How do you bridge over? The longer you're in, tougher the road is. How do you transition out? How do you plan to build an enterprise transformation space? We talked about the number of companies that will disappear. The very company that I was part of it, the journey, used to be the darlings of Wall Street and a fabric of America, Sears, Toys R Us. They're gone. Being in business for 100 years does not constitute that it will guarantee you another 100 years? How do you plan to educate, train, and prepare executives and leaders? If your executive team is not part of the continuing education, learning this space, and advances in this space, there's something wrong. And we, as an education institute, at USC, we are really taking this seriously. Between the Center of Executive Training Programs and our masters, we feel that there is a gap and we want to address that gap. There's a talent trail here. There are companies, they're really getting the ROI, the return on their investments in this disruption. However, there's a 23% of the companies that they're absolutely losing their bottoms. What's working here and how come it's not working here? Hopefully over the next 2 days, you'll get to hear, learn from the speakers and experts to find out which of these two statistics you're part of. The telling tale here is the more and more company, the later you wait, the disruptions will cost you more and the probability of failure is greater. So I'm going to end with the thought to set the days for Tim Cook, obviously the supply chain person at heart. You can focus on things that are barriers, or you can focus on scaling the wall or redefining the problem. Hopefully next 2 days, the space, the thought leadership, the discussions with the various topics that we put together will actually open up the horizon, some insight. And I look forward to seeing most of you back again on our 8th annual next year. I want to thank all my sponsors, speakers, as well as my panelists and all the attendees for being part of the 7th annual Global Supply Chain Excellence. So thank you very much.